Hello! Welcome to episode 8 of my Hardcore Survival Minecraft series. If you haven't seen the last episode, first of all, what are you doing here? Go watch it. Second of all, in that episode, I got myself suited up in full netherite gear, killed the ender dragon, and got myself this fancy little wither star. It was a very stressful episode full of adventuring and over-preparedness, which is precisely why today's episode will be the exact opposite. I have been dying to get some serious building and progress done on my little village on the hill here so that I can get started on my mega base. So today, that is the plan. If all goes well, this sad and underdecorated village will transform into something beautiful by the end of the episode. Now, the first thing I want to do is something a little bit stupid and absolutely time-consuming. See, I want to transform this hilltop into a beautiful and lush greenery-filled paradise. But the problem is this. It's kind of hard to fill this place with greenery and plant life if half of my hill is a literal wasteland. So, unfortunately, I've decided to start this episode off by replacing all of this terracotta with grass and dirt. And it's not just this. I intend to replace, all of this. Like the hill, this whole thing. This entire hill. I want it to be grass. Yeah. This is gonna take forever. If you hadn't already realized, one of the most important elements of transforming that mesa out there into grass would be grass.
Whoa. Nah, I never knew that.
Because I have very limited supplies of dirt. This is all I've got, pretty much. And I get the feeling that that is simply not going to cut it. So the first thing I actually have to do before I can even start transforming my hill over there is go out and probably use half of my shovel collecting dirt. So you can enjoy a time lapse of me destroying the environment. But it's for a good cause, because I'm going to improve the environment after, right? Right? I'm not a monster. Every day feels so long. I sit alone as the clock ticks away. This existence is... Okay, I'm back, and I have 2 double chests of both dirt and grass. So that will probably be enough. I have no idea if that's too much or if I'm way undershooting, but I guess I'll find out. But I actually ended up needing to repair both my shovels. The half a shovel thing was a little bit optimistic. So, yeah. But now that I actually have the dirt, I can finally get started on transforming this whole thing. Which, of course, is gonna mean another time lapse. Without further ado, let's get into this and see if I have enough dirt. Okay, so I'm cutting the time lapse just a little short there. But I mean, if you don't got the premise of what I've been doing after all that, then can't really help you. But the reason I'm not quite all the way down to the bottom yet is because I'm actually gonna shave this down all the way around where the mesa is to water level. So that is where I'm going to be doing next. I don't know how long it'll take. because it's kind of hard to judge how much mining I'm actually going to need to do, especially it's going to take some terraforming as well to make sure it doesn't look terrible and unnatural. So I got to do that, but I'm not going to do it in a time lapse this time around because, I mean, there's been enough time lapsing already in the start of this video, and there's still going to be more to come. So I got to ease off on the time lapses a bit. And I'm just going to kind of do, cut updates, nothing too fancy. But I did, however, get the materials together to make myself a beacon. But the problem is, I do not have enough iron and or gold and or diamonds and or netherite to make a fully powered beacon, so I've got this. I don't know if it's actually going to make a big difference, but I've got quite a bit of terracotta to mine down there, so I figured I'd do that. Guess I'll just be back when I get some of that done. Wish me luck. Alright, super quick before I actually show you the finished product. This is the first section that I just completed. Obviously I have some work to do on this side now, but yeah, I just rounded down the hill and that is water level right there. So that is what I'm planning on doing throughout the rest of the side of the hill, even the grassy side, but that's a problem for a later day, because this episode is very quickly becoming a lot. So yeah, but now that I have this basis down, it shouldn't be too hard to continue with the rest of the way around. So next thing you see should be the final product. Okay, several hours later, I have got all of the shaping down and I've flattened out everything so it looks all natural and pretty, and the hill now attaches down to water level. Now, the problem I face is dirt, because unfortunately my dirt supplies are running very low. If you look in here, you can see this is all I have left. Not even an inventory full. So that's not going to be enough, and I'm going to have to go on a more dirt gathering and more stuff, and this is honestly a terrible idea. But I'm almost done now, so I'm not going to give up. So, okay, I'll see you in the next clip when it is all properly transformed to dirt, including this giant chunk of mountain that I have ignored and then forgot about until now. So yeah, see ya in like 5 hours. This will be so fun. So fun. Hello, it's me. So, for whatever reason, the next few set of clips in the middle here have no audio. I don't know what happened at all. Like, it's only in-game audio that it recorded. It just entirely neglected to record my mic. So, I'm going to do my best to voice over that portion. But, yeah, it won't last too long, don't worry. I'll let you know when it's back to live time, but just a heads up, so you aren't confused as to why the format of the video suddenly changed. Okay, bye-bye now. Okay, so after many hours of relentless dirt mining and placing, the entire mesa section of our mountain has been converted into grass. You can see here that I have collected a lot of terracotta in the process. Looks like a lot, right? Well, guess what? There's more. So much more. Most of the stuff upstairs came from rounding out all the hills down here, because it may not look like it, but that in itself was a huge task. Also, you probably noticed in some of the previous pictures you've seen in the video, but I got a texture pack that makes all the grass a nice vibrant green. Beautiful, isn't it? At least until you look over here. Unfortunately, there is no texture pack I could find that makes the mesa grass green as well, so I'm stuck with the ugly yellowy green until I can figure out a better solution. Alright, and the very first thing I decided to work on, now that everything is grass, is this area in front of my barn. I recently realized when thinking about this episode that the naturally spawning hole previously occupying this space could very easily and beautifully be replaced with a pond and a bridge. Step 1. Sand. And just like that, it already looks better, but I'm not done yet. As I'm sure you know, a relatively crucial element of a pond is water. And now that that's in place, along with some sand extended around the edges, I can actually call it a pond now. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Phil Quan, how will you get to your barn with all that water in the way? Swim? Pfft, I ain't no peasant. Instead, I'm gonna build a bridge. A bridge that I think is actually way too big and not the prettiest, but it functions. However, I am still not done yet. The one thing this pond needs for me to truly be happy with it is details. So yeah, this is now the pond area complete. And you can tell by that switch, that transition right there, how much all this vegetation and flowers and stuff can really make a difference. And I'm sure you notice I changed the bridge as well. It was way too big and it looked ugly from the forward angle, so I made it this nice little rickety, shorter one with some supports underneath. It's a lot more basic, but I think it looks better in the end. I basically just, added some vegetation around the area, and this is the only area I've touched so far, but honestly, I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, I didn't really bother to go around there very much, just planted some trees. But I think it looks good. I even got some fishies in the pond, if they despawn. Okay, most of them despawned, I think, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. And basically, this is what I'm going to be doing everywhere else. This is just like a little sample. A little test run to see what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do around my entire hill. I'm going to give it pond treatment. I'm going to connect up all of my buildings with a pathway, and this is very important. And I already know exactly the kind of path I want, so I'm just going to give you a quick sample of what it's going to look like. Slight detour. Boom! This is what my paths will look like. I've got some inspiration from a Reddit post I saw a while back, but I didn't save it, so I can't really credit it. But, yeah, I think it looks pretty good, and it definitely fits the theme of the Mossy, and it provides a pretty clear path of of my paths. So I'm going to be doing this connecting all of my houses, going down through here, there, and eventually on the Death Knight Chanter. And, of course, I'm going to be decorating the entire area. So, I think, without further ado, it's time to get into the major time lapse. In 3, 2, 1. Well, it took a couple thousand years, but I have finally finished transforming my mountain into this beautiful landscape you see before you. I worked really hard on it, and I think it looks pretty amazing in the end, particularly my pathways and this pond here. And, sorry, I can't help but notice there's something wrong here. What happened to my pens? There's pigs and chickens and more pigs and chickens? Sheep are the only thing that have remained. Anyways, yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I didn't do too much work beyond the pathways, mostly because I don't actually know what else I'm going to add to this mountain in the future. It's definitely not complete. There's going to be more buildings and such. I just really wanted to get a landscape down on it in this episode. So if you walk over here, like you go farther away from the main paths and buildings, there's really not much, just some trees. And if you go even farther, I didn't really touch stuff like this. I want to leave it as open as possible for any possible expansions in the future. But I am very happy to announce that with this progress that I made today, I think very shortly I will be starting on my mega base. Because this is what I consider my starter village, I guess? If you can call it that. It's where I'm going to be living, probably, but I am planning on building a huge mega base. And I don't want to reveal the details of it at this moment, but trust me, you will find out very soon. Maybe even in the next episode? I don't know. Tune in. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section. And also, I'm open to tips on what I can improve, because I know that it's certainly not perfect, and there are things that can be improved. It would also mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and like the video, as it really helps me grow and makes it feel like the many hours that I spent into a project like this is worth my time, you know? As much as I'd like to say I do it for fun, which I do, it's obviously great to spread everything I'm doing, and it feels great to know that there's people who enjoy what I'm doing and are actually seeing what I'm doing. It's an extra feeling on top of all the fun, you know? So, with that said, I'm going to end off today's episode. I don't have any concrete plans for next episode, so you'll have to wait and find out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!